How much longer will Fox News and the Fox Media Organization be right-wing MAGA? May not be much longer, especially after Rupert Murdoch finally kicks it because of a new ruling coming out of Nevada about the trust that Rupert Murdoch tried to change unsuccessfully to put his right-wing MAGA son, Lachlan, in complete control. That failed, which means another son named James, who's more, let's put it this way, Democratic, because he donated to Joe Biden, he might have just as much influence over the future direction of Fox as any of the other children. And so the coup attempted by Rupert Murdoch over his own children has failed. Am I talking about Succession on HBO? I will, but I'm talking about the Rupert Murdoch trust battle and its impact on American politics here on the Midas Touch Network and on Legal AF. Let's start with what I'm talking about. Now, some people might be thinking, is this a long-lost episode of Succession on HBO, which is loosely, but only loosely based on the Rupert Murdoch family and the power struggle? No, but there is reporting that the kids freaked out when they watched the last season of Succession. Spoiler alert, turn off now if you don't want to know what happened during the last season of Succession. Okay, the patriarch, the Rupert Murdoch of the show, dies kind of early on in the season. And then the rest of the last season is about the power struggle and the succession and who's going to win the succession. I mean, the title of the show for 4 years was Succession. So we sort of knew this was coming, but it allegedly freaked out the kids. So they started getting together, basically James, Elizabeth, and Prudence. They started to get together about the succession. What they didn't know is their father, Rupert, and one of the elder sons, one of the boys, Lachlan, who Rupert wants to run Fox News because he's a right-winger too, got together on their own and decided to take the other three children to court in Nevada where the trust is based, because that's where you go when you want to, I don't know, form a trust over billions and billions of dollars. And so they sued the other three children in order to try to change the terms of the trust, not to cut them out as beneficiaries where they get the money, but to cut them out of control and power and put Lachlan in as the replacement for Rupert, because only then could Rupert secure the family fortune so tied to right-wing MAGA. And the commissioner, a judge in this type of area in Nevada, a guy named Ed Gorman, took one look at this, and in a 96-page decision that just came out, said, not over my dead body. He said it was a charade to try to change the trust. It was done to cement Lachlan's role to the detriment of the other three children, not allowed by the trust. There's a lot more detail in the 96 pages, but I'm giving you the gist of it. The kids were blindsided. James, Elizabeth, and Prudence didn't know about Project Harmony, which is a terrible name for the transition plan that Rupert and Lachlan had to put Lachlan in control. And now what could happen? I mean, the reason that James Murdoch is no longer the favored son, because he was being groomed, I think he's the eldest, he was being groomed to be the successor, is because James is a moderate. Because James donated to Joe Biden and they kind of pushed him out of the family and he left. He's still in the trust, and that's the problem. The trust was equally divided between the four children, 25, 25, 25, 25. There was no one winner of this battle, unlike in the show Succession, and therefore they each have equal voting power. You know, you're going to have to get 3 votes in order to do something. Because 2 votes is only 50-50. So basically the way he built this, 3 children have to agree. Traditional bed sheets, they can harbor more bacteria than a toilet seat. It can lead to acne, allergies, and stuffy noses, and it's just gross. Miracle Made offers a whole line of self-cleaning, antibacterial bedding, such as sheets, pillowcases, and comforters that prevent up to 99.7% of bacteria growth and require up to 3 times less laundry. Using silver-infused fabrics inspired by NASA, Miracle Made sheets are thermoregulating and designed to keep you at the perfect temperature all night long, no matter the weather. So you get better sleep every night. Miracle sheets are luxuriously comfortable without the high price tag of other luxury brands and feel as nice, if not nicer, than sheets used by some 5-star hotels. Stop sleeping on bacteria. Bacteria can clog your pores, causing breakouts and acne. Sleep clean with Miracle. These sheets are infused with silver that prevent up to 99.7% of bacterial growth, leaving them to stay cleaner and fresh 3 times longer than other sheets. No more gross odors. Go to trymiracle.com/legalaf to try Miracle Made sheets today. And whether you're buying them for yourself or as a gift for a loved one, if you order today, you can save over 40%. And if you use our promo, LegalAF at checkout, you'll get 3 free towels and save an extra 20%. Miracle is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you aren't 100% satisfied, you'll get a full refund. Upgrade your sleep with Miracle Made. Go to trymiracle.com/legalaf and use the code LegalAF to claim your free 3-piece towel set and save over 40% off. Again, that's trymiracle.com/legalaf to treat yourself. Thank you, Miracle Made, for sponsoring this episode. Now, if I had a guess, which 3 children are now going to more regularly agree, I don't think that's going to be Lachlan, who just tried to take out James, Elizabeth, and Prudence. I think the new power block that now runs Fox as soon as the old man kicks it is going to be moderate James, Elizabeth, and Prudence, and not Lachlan. And Lachlan may be out. I mean, in order for him to continue to be the CEO, I mean, he might have some sort of contract. These 3 are going to have to agree because they run and they have the voting block that runs Fox. You may invest in Fox, but the Rupert Murdoch family controls it through their trust. I mean, they made $143 billion. They made $14 billion last year. They're doing quite well, even though they had that major defamation scandal where they had to pay almost $1 billion to Dominion Voting Systems, and they got some other lawsuits around them. But this was the heart and soul of what mattered to Rupert Murdoch. He wanted to set up this company to make sure it was MAGA in the future. It was always the super right-wing, alt-right alternative to everything else on television, and he didn't want that screwed with because he thought that would screw with the family fortunes. All I think he's done now is cement the opposition of the 3, James, Elizabeth, and Prudence, who now control 75% of the company if they vote together against Lachlan. You know, there's an old adage, if you're going to shoot at the king, you better kill the king. Otherwise, you're going to have just a wounded, pissed-off king. And I think we got a wounded, pissed-off James, Prudence, and Elizabeth against Lachlan. And what does that mean for us? I don't know. The days of Fox News being Fox News, being super MAGA right, may be coming to an end. Because let's say he kicks it in the next few years, I mean, he's 93 years old, then James, Elizabeth, and Prudence take over control of the board. I think Lachlan had his shot and he missed. And there could be a chance of reshaping it. Now, they also could decide, we're making a lot of money hand over fist doing it this way. Let's not change the editorial viewpoint of the company and put it out of business, right? Let's not do that. They could go that way. I mean, they've been rich for a long time, and rich people think differently than the average American here in our audience and here on this side of the microphone. And so that could happen. But, it's interesting to posit what happens when Rupert dies. We always wonder what would happen to Fox News. He left the company control and chairman emeritus of the board after the Dominion defamation debacle, kind of pushed out by shareholders. But Lachlan, I don't think, is long for this world either, based on his failed now attempt to take out his children. We'll continue to follow what happens in corporate media because, they do a lot to try to influence people's views, their minds, rewire their brains, and influence and interfere with their voting decisions. We are the counterbalance here on the MeidasTouch Network. We are the counterweight, right? We are the independent voice without outside investors. Don't blow smoke or sunshine. Nobody tells me what to say on this network, and that's a good thing, or on this channel, or on Legal AF. In fact, if you want to find out how nobody tells me what to say, tune in on Tuesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on the MeidasTouch Network for a show we call Popak Live at the intersection of law and politics. Unfiltered, unhinged maybe, certainly unplugged on Tuesdays, 8 p.m. And then, of course, our Legal AF podcast on Wednesdays and Saturday nights here on the MeidasTouch Network, and a new channel in collaboration with the Midas Touch Network. We call it Legal AF over on YouTube. Help us grow that pro-democracy channel as well. So until my next reporting, I'm Michael Popak. In collaboration with the Midas Touch Network, we just launched the Legal AF YouTube channel. Help us build this pro-democracy channel where I'll be curating the top stories at the intersection of law and politics. Go to YouTube now and free subscribe at Legal AF MTN. That's at Legal AF MTN.